Hey everybody, Dano here from Every Day is Turkey Day, and today I have a review for you on Preacher by Garth Ennis and artwork by Steve Dillon. This is the review of the first trade paperback, book one, of which there are 6 books. And now I haven't seen the TV show, so if you're looking for someone to compare and contrast the comic with the TV show, I won't be doing that. And also for this review, I'll be going over it in 2 parts in this video. The first part, I'll just be saying in general what I think, because it's kind of hard to talk about this comic without really giving anything away. So I'll give you a warning when I'm about to explain more of it. So if you want, you can click off and just go into the comic not really knowing anything, which is probably the best way. But if you stick around, I'll give a little bit more away of what's going on in the characters and things such as that. I won't be giving away too much as to really spoil anything. But yeah, so anyways, here we go. So Preacher, all I gotta say is wow. Now, you know, there's adult comics in which they sort of deal with like adult situations such as relationships, and just things that adults go through that kids can read and they might not relate or understand, but generally they can, you know, still get a good grasp of what's going on. And then there's the adult in which it's just ultra violence, craziness, just absolute chaos. And this is the latter. Like, holy shit, this book is crazy. But the thing that's good about it is, you know, there's a lot of cursing, there's racial slurs, there's, you know, blood, guts, and just craziness, but it doesn't do it in a way that sacrifices the story. Like, this story is really good. It's one hell of a page turner. Like, you finish one chapter and you just want to go straight into the next one. That's how good it is. So now I'd say, if any of that shit sounds interesting, then go pick this up, go check it out. At least read the first trade paperback and see what you think, and then go on from there if you want to continue the story. So now that's that, and now I'm going to be diving a little bit deeper into the story. So click off if you don't want to, you know, hear anything else, I guess, and go on blind. All right, cool. So here we go. The story pretty much is about an angel and a demon who bang and then have a kid that's kind of a whole new creation, which is called Genesis. And this Genesis, you know, being then wants to attach itself to a soul, which ends up being the preacher in the story, Reverend Jesse Custer. And so mainly the story picks up right after that happened, and they're in a diner, and it's Reverend Jesse Custer, an Irishman by the name of Cassidy, and Jesse Custer's previous girlfriend who hasn't seen in 5 years, named Tulip. And so the overarching story is pretty much that, you know, Jesse finds out that he has, you know, this kind of spirit thing inside of him, and pretty much learns that because of that, God has gone rogue, and, you know, no one seems to know where he is. And so Jesse kind of wants to bring God to justice, and for him to answer to everybody on why he left them and, you know, what he's done. So with that being said, in this first trade paperback, there's kind of 3 little mini story arcs, I guess you could say. The first one is in Texas, where everything, you know, first kind of happens. There's also a really cool character called the Saint of Killers, whose task is pretty much to find Jesse and get Genesis back. So yeah, he's really badass. Now the second one, they go to New York City to find out more information on possibly where God is, and it has a story about a serial killer that ties in, which is really cool. And then pretty much the third story is when Jesse goes back home to Louisiana, him and Tulip, and you get pretty much his whole backstory about how he grew up, the craziness that was, you know, his childhood. You also get the backstory on his and Tulip's relationship, and like it's just pure insanity throughout this whole book, but in the best way possible. So I hope I made sense in all this, because going over it in my head, I'm like, I don't know. But regardless, this story is amazing. Yeah, read it. I definitely say read it. At least check out the first trade paperback, and see if it's for you, because I guess some people don't really like that ultra violence, swearing type of stuff. But I think, a lot of people probably do. And the cool thing is, too, though, if you decide to buy this, you do get a lot of cool art in the back from like variant covers. You also get a lot of bang for your buck. The first trade paperback is $20. You can probably find it for cheaper online. But also it's like over 300 pages, so you're getting a lot of story for your money. So if I had to give this rating, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Definitely one of, the most intense comics I've read, and it's just real page turner. So thanks for listening. Have a great day, and see you next review. Peace.